Some of them were eating, but yet the videos were on. I appreciated it. Good. That's nice. Chalega, but remain there. All right, we'll start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam panghum langaiti girim yatkipratam ham mande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Welcome once again to our Jewels of Bhagavatam session. And we have to continue from which shloka? Okay, voice is low. Really? Hare Krishna.
No, Prabhuji, it's fine.
Pakka na?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So we will be continuing from 9:15:37. Some quick recap of what happened. Kal kya hua tha? A quick recap. Anybody? You're visiting YouTube and checking the recording? Okay. Fight between Karthaveer, Arjuna and Bashram. Yes, that was a fight that happened. Good. Arms cut off. How many? Not just two. 1,000. He cut off, and finally he cut off the head. Parshuram killed army with the speed of mind, and then when he grew a little tired, then he cut it with the wind. Very good. Anyone else? Any other lessons? Yes, Karthaveer Arjun killed. Any new point or any value point, any practical point, something which we can all apply in our lives? Yes, bataiye. All right. We saw that when the weaklings are exploited, yes, demons use their powers against Vishnu. One should not be puffed up, correct? Good prevails over bad. If power is not used, or rather we'd say power is misused, then it is useless. In spite of being so guni, he used his power against the Lord, and that was the most unfortunate thing. Good. So now we can proceed ahead. So what has happened now is Parshuramji has brought the cow, Kamadhenu, along with its calf and delivered it back to his father, Jamadagni Rishi, in his ashram. Now next, what? So now here it starts. 37, right? Swakarma tatkritam ramah pitre vrityarbhya evacha varnayamasa tachrutva Jamadagni abhashata. Definitely, Jamadagni was very surprised. Forcefully, the king and his men, they all henchmen, they all had forcefully dragged the cow along with its calf to Mahishmati, the kingdom. How is the cow back here? Yes, kaise hua? Swakarma tatkritam rama. Swakarma yani ki mere karma, swakarma, jo unhone karma kiya tha, the activities that he performed, tatkritam, that which he performed, who? Rama. So Parshuram, Swakarma, the activities that he had performed. Pitre, he spoke to his father. Bhritya Arbhya, also to his brothers. He had other brothers also, right? Elder brothers. He was the youngest. So he had 5 elder brothers. To them, Evacha. To bhai ko or pitaji ko. To Pritre and Bhrityarba, Evacha. He spoke it. And Varanayam Asa. As he described it in great detail, Varnan kiya. Tachritva, after hearing, Jamadagni abhashata. Jamadagni Rishi opens up. He would like to speak up now. So after hearing out the entire details, Jamadagni was stunned and he begins to speak. All right, somebody can read the translation.
Parashurama described to his father and brothers his activities in killing Karthaveer, Arjuna. Upon hearing of these deeds, Jamadagni spoke to his son as follows.
Rama Mahabaho Bhavan Papam Akarashit Avadhi Naradevam Yat Sarvadevamayam Vrita. So now you need to understand who is Jamadagni Rishi. Jamadagni Rishi is one of the Sapta Rishis. And Sapta Rishis are very well trained and educated in Varnashram Dharma and Sanatan Dharma. They know the Shastras really well. Yes, they are no ordinary souls. So he had something to share. So how he starts? Rama, 2 times. Yes, so this is something. Krishna Mahabaho, Rama Mahabaho, same way it's coming. So this twice indicating Rama. Why? That shows one's eagerness and something that one wants to speak from the heart. Dil se kuch bolna chahte. I want to speak something from my heart. I want to speak something which is deeply concerning me. I'm going to speak something very important. You mean a lot to me. That is why he's addressing twice. Rama, when overwhelmed with some kind of emotion. Mahabaho. Now this word Mahabaho is heard a lot of times in Bhagavad Gita. How many of you heard this word? Yes, Arjuna is called Mahabaho. Arjuna calls Krishna as Mahabaho. What is the meaning of Mahabaho? Maha means great and Baho means one who has great hand. Yes, he has proved it. The way he used his chopper, the way he has chopped down all the arms, the way he dismantled and neutralized the entire enemy of 17 Akshvinis shows very clearly that Parshuram is Mahabaho, that one man army. You are Mahabaho. And now here, when you call a person Twam, it means Tum. But when you call a person Bhavan, it means Aap. Now, where normally in Hindi we use Aap and where we use Tum? Anybody? Basic Hindi jo jante, they will know. Yes. When you are dealing with elders, when you deal out of respect, that's when you use Aap. And when you're dealing with a subordinate or an equal friend, then you may use Tum. So here, his father is not calling him Tum. Twam, of course, his son. You can call him Tum. He's calling him Bhavan. Bhavan. Aap. Yes. He's telling you, Papam Akarashit. You have committed sin. My God. भगवान को भगवान आपने पाप किया है. Papam akarashit. You have sinned. So how many of you believe or how many of you sure that killing Karthaveer Arjuna was not sinful? उसको मारना ही था. He should have been killed. Yes. Okay. How many of you think it was a sin to have killed him? Everyone's playing safe, huh? So you tell the answer, we'll support. I'm asking your opinion. Please, you can all type. If you feel it's sin, why? And if you feel it is not sin, why not? Please, some discussion. Either you can speak up by raising hands or you can even type it in the chat. Either ways is fine. Not a sin. Okay, he must be killed. Kya baat hai? One each. Vijay Prabhu, you want to say something? Vijay Kumar Prabhu. Okay. Okay, no sin as it was against Dharma. He was lucky enough to have Parshuram assassinate him. What terminology is used? King is a representative of God. Killing is sin. Killing in general is sin. Okay. There's a mixed decision. Not sin, because he did aparad. Aparad is different. Okay, he's an aparadi. He did go mata ke prati aparad, brahma aparad, so killed him. But killing for dharma is not sin. But here, as per Bhagavatam, Javadagni Rishi is telling you have acted sinfully. Yes, you have committed a sin. Bhavan papam akarashit. Avadhin naradevam yat. You have killed the Naradev. Now, king is called as Naradeva. That means among the human beings, he is the representative of Supreme Lord. That is why king is called Naradev, Naradevata. And Sarva Devamayam Vrata. For all of us, the representative of all the demigods, all the 33 Koti demigods, they reside in the body of the king. Yes, Sarva Devam Vrata. So that is Vrata, unnecessarily you have killed him. Koi zarurat nahi thi. Hare Krishna. So now this was shocking. We enjoyed yesterday's movie a lot. कल की movie तो एकदम thriller action packed था एकदम, one man army, commando getting into the Mahishmati territory and cutting. But today anti-climax हो गया. We were thinking that, my God, what an activity. It is a sin. Yes. Whew. आज philosophy. Correct. Today we are going to have philosophy. Yesterday pastime, today philosophy. But we definitely want to understand this further. So one reason he's saying is king is a representative, and even as per the Niti Shastras, it is said king does no wrong. A leader does no wrong. There's a statement like that. So what does it mean? It's because for a king who is empowered, because a king is handpicked and empowered by the Supreme Lord. Yes, any leader, any kind of king, any person is actually empowered. He's given an empowerment by the Supreme Lord. And following the leader is actually the dharma of everybody. So suppose I have a leader under me and some subordinates bring some complaint about the leader. I would support the leader first. Of course, I'll put a word to the leader that, Prabhu, this is what is going on. The talk's going on behind you. Please watch out. But at the same time, supporting leader is very important because he's representing a great position. So it's an insult to the position. It's like going and slapping a police officer. Can we do that? No, his police officer is representing the government. Whoever it be, maybe a constable or a commissioner. The moment somebody has worn the uniform as an officer, we need to understand that person is representing something big. Right? It is representing something very big. But sometimes adharmi leader, how can we follow him? No, coming. Ek ke baad ek aayega sab kuch point. This is a valid point that the leader is adharmi. How can you follow adharmi leader? Now there is always contradiction, controversy to hota hi hai. Now wife is supposed to follow husband, but his husband is a characterless fellow. Yes, he's a demoniac fellow. What should the wife do? Got it, no? So this is unending controversy. We can keep discussing. Shastra bolta hai pati vrata nari. Nari should always follow the husband, walk that path. On the other hand, person is characterless, non-devotee, abusive. What should be done? Yes. Got it. No? So there are different, we need to understand dharma. Dharma is very deep. There is time, place, circumstances for dharma. It is not just black and white. There are 108 shades of gray in between. Yes. So now we are trying to understand the dharma. Next. I guess, did we read this?
O great hero, my dear son, Parshuram, you have unnecessarily killed the king who is supposed to be the embodiment of all the demigods. Thus, you have committed a sin.
Okay, next. Let's understand this. Vayam hi brahmanastata shamayarhanatam gataha yaya loka gurur devaha parameshthyam agat padam. So now he's going to speak something from the circumstantial duty. Now we need to understand. Vayam hi, hum log kaun hai? He means, again, indeed, I was explaining in the Hindi class, That he means certainly. Usi ne hi, usne hi chori ki hai. Means he, na? That's certainty. It is very much emphasizing, in an emphasizing manner. Vayam hi brahmanas. We are all qualified brahmanas. He's explaining the duty now. Vayam hi brahmanas tata. Tat means very dear. Tat. Vayam hi brahmanas tata. When somebody calls a junior, they call him tat. And somebody calls a senior, they call tat shri. It is very common. I think in Mahabharat serial and all, many times it is used. Tat shri. Tata is for a younger one, and a senior one is Tata Shri. However, in some South Indian languages, the grandfather is also called as Tata. Tata means actually in Sanskrit very dear. He is also called as Tata, Tati. Grandmother is called Tati, like that. So this word comes from somebody who is very dear. Vayam hi brahmanas tata shamaya. See, the brahmana's first quality, the first quality to be exhibited by brahmana is shama, to be forgiving. Yes, forgiving. And because a brahmana is forgiving, yes, kshamaya, arhanatam gatah. That is why everybody worships a brahmana. A brahmana is worshipped because of his quality to forgive. This is the greatest quality. It's not very easy to forgive and forget. Last Siddhi Baat also we were discussing about the same thing. How many of you were there? Anyone was there in that episode? Okay, we were discussing about what to do with backstabbers. Some guys stabbed your back. What to do with those fellows? उनके साथ क्या करना है? Yes, and later on, in the end, Biplav Prabhu asked me, bro, how to forget and forgive? ऐसे कैसे होता है? How does it happen? How do we do it? Right? So this is very difficult. So this is the quality of Brahmana. He's able to forgive. He's able to forgive. I'll give you an example. Vasishtha, when Vasishtha's sons were killed by Vishwamitra. Yeah. They were killed because out of great envy, Vishwamitra killed Vasishtha's all sons. And Vasishtha was so disappointed that he said, no, I don't have any son. He didn't take revenge. Rather, he wanted to commit suicide. That time from his eldest son's wife, yes, her womb, somebody spoke the Vedas, and that was Vyasa. And that was Parashara. And Parashara's son became Vyas. So Vasishtha, his great-grandson became Vyas. And grandson was Parashara, the father of Vyas. And moment he spoke up nice shlokas from the womb, that he was learned in the womb only, the writer of Vishnu Puran. That is when he got hope and he did not commit suicide. And then what happened? Later on in the Ramayana, what do we find? In the Ramayana, we find that Vasishtha and Vishwamitra together, collaboratively, they trained Ram. Yes, together they trained. That means Vasishtha forgave. In fact, the way Vishwamitra could become Brahma Rishi was to get a certification under Vasishtha. And Vasishtha, without any envy, gave the certification. That means he forgave even the act of Vishwamitra killing his sons. There's something sometimes very difficult to digest. So forgiving to such an extent. And that's what makes a Brahmana very much more worshipable. That's what he's telling. So they have achieved the worshipping, everyone's worship, because of the ability to forgive. It's okay. Forgiving. Yaya loka gurur deva. Yes. And you need to understand that Yaya Loka Guru Deva. Who's Loka Guru? Any idea who's Loka Guru? We say Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kancha Charuna Vardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. But here Loka Guru. Sometimes even Shiva is addressed as Charachara Guru. But here especially a Brahmana, the first Brahmana who is a Loka Guru is Brahma. Because the context is of Brahmana, that is why here Loka Gurur Devaha. So Yaya Loka Gurur Devaha Parameshtyam Agat Padam. It is because of this quality of forgiveness that Parameshtyam Agat, he is this Deva, this demigod, the Loka Guru Brahma, has achieved the post of Brahma. He has become Brahma. Why? Because of the quality of forgiveness. So once a person was genuinely forgiving, such a person can even, he is as glorified as Brahma in one sense. Yes, Brahma is the Adi Brahmana, the first Brahmana. The first great personality in this universe. So quality of forgiveness is a very, very big quality. And how this forgiveness is developed. This is discussed in the Shastras. One develops the ability to forgiveness by doing two things. Number one, A plus B equal to C, we say, na? So two factors are required. So first, Bhakti Shakti plus Daya is equal to Shama. This is the sutra. The more one performs the Bhakti nicely, especially Shravanam and Kirtanam, to hear and to chant. And Daya means what? Daya means especially refers to preaching. One is engaged in preaching. So one is doing Shravanam, Kirtanam nicely, and one is engaged in preaching very well. Then one develops the strength to forgive others. Otherwise, forgiving others is very, very difficult. माफ करना बहुत कठिन है. कोई माफ नहीं कर पा रहा, somebody is not able to forgive, that means Bhakti Shakti is poor or the Prachar is poor, Daya is poor. One of these factors is poor. That is why one is not able to forgive. A person who is doing his Bhakti Shakti very nicely and who is doing this, preaching very well, such a person can easily forgive. So those of you who want to develop forgiveness, how many of us want to forgive someone, but we are not able to forgive? ऐसा है life में. We all have. That means you have to increase these two components. You have to improve the quality and intensity of our sadhana, and you have to do some daya. Because when you go out and you see the miserable plight of this world, at the same time when you chant and hear and you see how compassionate and merciful is the holy name, how great is the holy name, both these factors will help you to forgive and forget the other person. Chhod do, koi baat nahi. Right? And it is this quality that Brahma has become Brahma. Translation, somebody can read.
My dear son, we are all Brahmanas and have become worshipable for the people in general because of our quality of forgiveness. It is because of this quality that Lord Brahma, the supreme spiritual master of this universe, has achieved his.
Thank you. Next. Shamaya rochate Lakshmi Brahmi Sauri Yatha Prabha Shaminam Asu Bhagavam Tushyate Haririshwaraha. Okay. What if we forgive but again keep getting hurt again and again? Then that means you have to forgive and keep distance also. We have to forgive and keep distance. That's also very important. Because you understand the nature of the person. Oh, this person is not going to change. See, Vasudev very clearly know. Kamsa, he behaved like a gentleman. He came and told, hey, Vasudev, very nice. I'm so happy that you come and given your first child. But I have no problem with your first child. You please take away first child. Vasudev did not believe him at all. This fellow is characterless fellow. Yes, he's a shameless fellow. This fellow is characterless, he's shameless, and he's cruel by nature. And he has uncontrolled senses. I cannot trust him. So he didn't take him seriously. And then again Kamsa then asked for all. Come on, give me all your children. And he started killing them. He performed homicide. Right? So we need to understand the nature of the other person also. And the person is having a propensity to hurt again and again. Better to keep a safe distance. It's always good. Keep a safe distance. Don't go too close. All right? Kshamaya rochate Lakshmir. See, by forgiving, what happens? Rochate Lakshmi. Lakshmi becomes very happy. Lakshmi is the goddess of fortune. And she blesses. She blesses you with all good fortune. If you are forgiving. This fact, it's a big thing. Lakshmi means सिर्फ पैसा नहीं है. Fortune, सौभाग्य. वो मिलता है when you forgive. Yes, and it's very important. It's very, very important for all of us to understand that we need the Divine Mother's mercy. Even in fact, in our chanting of the holy name also, we first address Hare. So many times people ask me, प्रभु ये शिव जो है उनको हरा बोलते हैं और कृष्ण को हरि बोलते हैं, तो हरे कौन है? हरे शिव है या कृष्ण है? This was a question asked to me. And I said, हरे शिव भी नहीं है, कृष्ण भी नहीं है. Hare means Radharani, the energy of Krishna. The personified divine energy of Krishna is called as Hare. So Hare is very, very, very pleased Lakshmi is very, very pleased and she'll bless you with all good fortune if you're forgiving. On the other hand, if you're not forgiving, we'll not even be able to chant properly. हम ठीक से जप नहीं कर पाएंगे. Because Hari's Kripa will not come. Right? That's first thing. Shamaya rochate Lakshmi. Lakshmi becomes pleased. Second, Brahmi Sauri Yatha Prabha. Then what happens is you need to understand that this culture of forgiving, Brahmi, it is Brahmana's jewel which makes him shine like a sun. Surya Prabha. Sauri Prabha. Just like a sun shines. Sun shines. Wow, what a sun shining. So bright. Similarly, a Brahmana is forgiving. Such a person also shines in the eyes of everyone, especially in the eyes of Lakshmi. And he is like shining, shining person. If we don't have this quality of forgiveness, Brahmanical because Brahmanas are known for three things. The first quality is sense control. They will not indulge in unnecessary sense gratification. The second quality is of learning. Brahmanas are very, very well learned. They know shlokas, they know answer to all the questions. Yeah, they can quote purports from different parts of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Gita, and all Vedic scriptures. But this particular quality will really make the Brahmana a shining person. What is that? That is the quality of forgiveness. Maaf kar dena. Then that person will be shining. Yeah, correct. Brahmi Sauri Yatha Prabha will shine like the sun. Shaminam Ashu Bhagavans Tushyate Haririshwaraha. One more thing happens. See, Lakshmi becomes pleased. But there is Hari, Krishna. Shaminam Ashu Bhagavans. Very quickly. Ashu means very fast. Tushyate Haririshwara. He becomes very, 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 very pleased. Immediately. And we need to understand very clearly that if Narayana is pleased, Lakshmi will automatically become pleased. If Krishna is pleased, Radharani will automatically become pleased. Because wherever there is Krishna, Lakshmi has to be there. So Lakshmi will always be there where there is Narayana, where there is Krishna. Right? So it is the reason being is it's Krishna who becomes pleased immediately. That is why Lakshmi also becomes pleased. Right? So we need to understand this particular quality very well. That you want to please Krishna immediately, then develop forgiveness. An example of this is demonstrated by Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj performed 99 yajnas and Indra was highly insecure because one more yajna and Prithu is going to be the person who will occupy the post of heaven. So Indra, what he started doing, he started stealing the horse. It's a huge pastime. We are going to take it some other time in such kind of study. So I'm not going to reveal much details, but Brahmaji came down and he said that Indra is performing very nefarious activities. So better you stop this yajna. And Prithu accepted. Okay. And then what happened? Because he sacrificed his yajna, the sacrifice of the yajna became a greater sacrifice than performing the yajna. So because of which Narayana personally came. And Indra came behind Narayana, asking sorry. And Prithu Maharaj, he was falling at the feet of Prithu, but Prithu picked him up and embraced him. Now this quality really, Lord got sold out to Prithu because of this quality of forgiving. Yes, sold out to Shaminam Ashu Bhagavans Tushyate. Very quickly, you see, the Lord becomes very, very pleased. So now the principle of forgiveness which Jamadagni Maharaj, Jamadagni Rishi, is teaching to his son, the principle of forgiveness is to please the Lord. So forgiveness is not a mundane thing. Cholos, sorry मांग के बड़ा व्यक्ति बनिए. No, it's fully Krishna conscious. Now, how is forgiveness connected to Krishna consciousness? The forgiveness is connected to Krishna consciousness, being that it's Krishna in the form of Kapil Dev who explains who's a sadhu, who's a brahmana. And the first quality he says is Titikshava Karunika Suhridam Sarvadehina Adata Shatra Vashanta Sadhavo Sadhu Bhushanam. So Sadhu Bhushan, that means that ornaments which attract Krishna. Krishna is not attracted by just Kantimala, simply by applying tilak. Sara kaya makhila tilak gaur milena. There is a song which says, Sara kaya, you take the tilak, apply it all over your body, you will not get Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mercy. Nahi milega. Sara khaya makhila tilak gaur milena. You will not get. But you wear this ornament of titikshava, tolerance, forgiveness, then immediately Lord is pleased. Right? So we saw this by the example of Prithu also. Anybody else forgave and got mercy? Any other example from Shastras, which you are all able to recollect? Anybody? Ambarish Maharaj, amazing example. One loud Hari Bol for them. Hari Bol. See, Ambarish Maharaj just did not forgive. I'll give you different levels. I'll give you 5 examples. Okay. So 5 examples I gave is Parikshit, Prahlad, Haridas, Ambarish, Prithu. Now I'll give you in different order. So Parikshit got the curse. Parikshit, what happened? Got the curse from Shringi and he tolerated it. He did not go and ask forgiveness, or he did not counter curse, although he had capacity to do it. So Parikshit. Above Parikshit is Prahlad Maharaj. Yes. Above Parikshit is Prahlad Maharaj, who not just tolerated all the onslaughts of the homicide attempts which were made on him by his own father. He just did not tolerate, but rather when Narsimhadev asked, yes, Narsimhadev asked, he said, liberate my father. But greater than that is Prithu. Prithu not just forgave Indra, but accepted him as a friend. Greater than that is Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur is a person who was being beaten by the executioners, right? And he personally prayed for the executioners. And greatest is Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj not just forgave Durvasa Muni, he fasted for him for 1 full year. And after that, Sudarshan was not leaving, so he gave his entire Bhakti Punya to Durvasa Muni. Take it. He gave his entire Bhakti. Jo bhi Bhakti kiya tha, sab de diya unko. Take it, no problem. So to that degree, he gave it away. So these are all the wonderful Vaishnavas. Example of forgiveness, and all of them have pleased the Lord like anything. So these are the value we should try to cultivate. Yeah.
The duty of a Brahmana is to culture the quality of forgiveness, which is illuminating the sun. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is pleased with those who are forgiving.
Next sloka. Ragnyo murdhabi shiktasya vadho brahmavadat guruhu tirtha samsevaya chamho jahyanga chuta chetanaha. Yes. So now what is he telling? See, there are different kinds of killing. There are different levels of killing. Yes. Now, Ragnyaha Murdha Abhishiktyaha. See, please understand that he is not just a Raja. Raja is king. But above Raja is Murdha Abhishiktaya Tasya. Murdha Abhishiktasya is an Samrat, emperor. There is a difference between king and emperor. Karthaveer Arjuna was not a king, he was an emperor. Emperor has 14 qualities. 14 things he possesses. I described in one of Siddhi Baat also. Emperor has a chariot. Emperor has a horse. Emperor has a special elephant. He has special jewelry. He has special garland. He has a special dress. Special white umbrella. He has a special weapons. He has special noose. He has a special spear. He has a special wife. And 2 more things, and most importantly, he has dharma on his side. That's what makes an emperor. So what exactly did Jamadagni Rishi say? That Rajno, first of all, is a king, but he's not just an ordinary king, he's an emperor. And please understand, Vado Brahma Vadat Guruhu. Guru means serious. So Brahma Vadat Guruhu, what you have done is more serious than killing a Brahmana. Yes. Killing a Brahmana is much more serious than that is to kill an emperor. That's what Jamadagni Rishi is telling. See, killing plants having least consciousness is of the lowest level. Then killing some animals with low consciousness. Then killing of human beings. Above that, killing of cow. Above that is Brahmana, cow, Brahmana. Of course, we cannot debate who's. Go Hatya is also severe path. Brahma Hatya, Go Hatya, both are severe. But above all the Hatya is Hatya of an emperor. That's what he quotes from Shastras. It's very, very serious. Severe. So please understand, you have committed the most heinous murder. So what you have to do? Aapko kya karna hai? He gives an instruction. Tirtha samsevaya chamho. Yes? So amha, the sinful activities that you performed, for that go to Tirtha Stan. Tirtha samsevaya. Go and serve in Tirtha Stan. Go and start doing services in holy places. Yes? Jahi anga achyuta chetasah. Go, give up your sinful mentality and develop a mentality of Krishna consciousness. Achyuta chetasah. So become Krishna conscious. So now one may ask, we all go to holy places. How many of you have gone to holy places? Our conception is we go to holy places to see. Go to temple and ask for some dhanam dehi, putram dehi, bharya dehi. Go and ask for material benedictions. That's the reason we go to holy places. But that's not the reason. The reason we go to holy places is in holy places, there are great souls available. The devotees. Because in holy places, Krishna has performed his pastimes. And because Krishna has performed in pastimes, the devotees who are attached to Krishna stay in those holy places. And because these devotees who stay in those holy places, they just don't stay there. They even welcome the guests and they preach to them. And by hearing and associating with such great souls, what happens is the purification of heart happens. That is the reason one is sent to the holy places. The purpose of going to holy places is not just for sightseeing. चलो हम देख के आ गए, सेल्फी लेके आ गए, इंस्टा पे अपलोड कर लिया. That is not the purpose of going to holy places. The purpose of going to holy places is to hear from great souls. Hear. So many people, how many of you have a practice of going to temple and going and sitting in the temple for some time? You've done this in the past. जाके थोड़ा बैठना चाहिए. Actually, the reason of going and sitting in the temple is to hear Bhagavatam. Right? So this sloka is being spoken by Jamadagni to Parshuramji. He's speaking and instructing that you go to holy places to atone for your sinful activities. Yes? Because you may see, the holy people are much more powerful than even holy rivers. Yatpada samsraya suta munaya prashamayanaha. Yes? It's sadyo pudanti upasprishtaha swardhuni apo anusevaya. See, if you want to get purified by taking bath in Ganges, you have to take bath repeatedly. But by even momentarily associating with the pure devotee of Lord, you can get instantly purified. So purification that is given by the great souls is very. So that Achyuta Chetna, that Krishna consciousness will be helped. Because Achyut Chetna, we all went to so many holy places. Did we develop Achyut Chetna? No. We developed Achyut Chetna by hearing from great souls. Yes, so that is how you should go and do the Tirth Seva. So this is an instruction given by Jamadagni Rishi. Somebody can read the translation.
My dear son, killing a king who is an emperor is more severely sinful than killing a Brahmana. But now, if you become Kripa, Krishna conscious and worship the holy places, you can atone for this great sin.
Hari Bol. So with this ends the chapter 15. Yes. So the chapter 15 is about how why Parshuramji took birth and what activity of Parshuramji is something that he is known for. And the next chapter is even more dangerous chapter. Dangerous matlab dekho kya hota hai. So the next chapter is Lord Parshuram destroy the world's ruling class. So he destroyed one emperor. Now he's going to destroy all the kings. ऐसा क्या हुआ कि ऐसा करना पड़ा उनको? Yes. What is it? That is something we are going to learn in the next class. Prabhuji, even if emperor is sinful, should he be not killed? See, there is an emperor called Vena. Just can I just come in 1 minute? Just 1 minute. Excuse me. So we find that Vena was very sinful, and killing of Vena is approved. The killing of Vena was approved, but if you see in here, what is condemned is disproportionate punishment. It was very disproportionate. He had taken the cow by force. So even there was one more person who took cow by force. You remember Vashishta and Vishwamitra, their fight started like that only, same way. Vashishta had a cow, Kamdhenu, same Kamdhenu, and Vishwamitra wanted to take the cow. And the cow was being asking master what to do. So Vashishta ordered the cow to get soldiers out of her body. So Kamdhenu can produce anything. So she produced soldiers who defeated Vishwamitra's soldiers. And Vishwamitra said, this fellow is the root cause. So he attacked Vashishta, and Vashishta shielded himself in such a way that none of the weapons worked. And then Vishwamitra understood, Are Kshatriya is useless. I'll become Brahman to be more powerful than him. And he considered Vashishta to be his competitor, and then he wanted to become a Brahmana. So he becomes a Brahman after many years of tapasya. He changes his varna. Then after much more tapasya, he becomes a rishi. Then he becomes a Deva Rishi, then Maharishi, finally Brahma Rishi. Of course, by the time he becomes Brahma Rishi, he is purified completely. So that is when he does the tapasya to 60,000 years. He is disturbed by Menaka, then disturbed by Ramba, then disturbed by Trishanku and all these things. So that time also Vashishta did not kill Vishwamitra. How did Vashishta act? Yes, Vashishta, he produced soldiers out of it and he told Vishwamitra, Jao wapis, khali haath jao. He did not kill him. Because that time Vishwamitra, Kaushik Raja, was the emperor. Next. Prabhuji, kings of medieval periods like Aurangzeb and Chandragupta were chosen by God for that position. Hari. Yes, any leaders are chosen as per their karma. They are put. See, now you may ask, why are these such kind of cruel kings chosen? See, even why another question. I'll answer the same question with another purport of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna sometimes even gives more power to demons. Why? Because ये देवता लोग जो है वो सोमरस पी के अप्सराओं का नित्य देख के they are all मजे में. They become very lax and casual in bhakti. एकदम आराम से जाएंगे back to God. But when asuras come and they overpower the demigods, then these people अरे क्या करे? पाही माम, they come. अच्छा आ गए ना अभी घुटनों पे. Yes. So in order to increase the seriousness in the hearts of the demigods, Krishna empowers the demons sometimes. So the same principle is applicable even in such cases. I hope it's answered. Any other question, reflection? You want to share something? Anyone? No problem.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna.
प्रभु जी, आपने बताया अभी कि होली प्लेसेस में कॉन्शियसनेस होना चाहिए। गोवर्धन परिक्रमा में कुछ लोग कीर्तन भी करते हैं और कुछ लोग माला भी ज्यादा करने को कहते हैं, तो दोनों में से क्या करना चाहिए?
कीर्तन करना चाहिए। एक्चुअली गोवर्धन परिक्रमा में कीर्तन करते हुए जाना चाहिए। और जब आप किसी स्थली पे जाते हैं, जैसे चक्र तीर्थ जाते हैं, जातिपुरा जाते हैं, पूछरी में जाते हैं, you go to any other place, Haridev, Baldev, wherever you go there, and there you should sit and hear the glories, katha, and then after the katha is over, chant some round and move ahead. That's how you should do Govardhan Parikrama.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Alankar Prabhu. Go ahead.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are very much audible, Prabhu.
Yeah. Prabhuji, my question is regarding forgiveness. So you mentioned about that forgiveness is the best quality that Brahmanas has. And so regarding that, so many situations, we don't have anything for somebody who doesn't belong, doesn't is close in our life. We don't give that much weightage for forgiveness because, that is momentarily. But some people are like, very close in our net. And if they they do something, then it becomes like, how can we forgive on these things?
It's a very general question. Like,
Yeah, Prabhuji.
yeah, it's quite general. How exactly to forgive when somebody is betraying? You heard yesterday Siddhi Baat, no?
Absolutely, yes.
I've given answer to your question. Apart
Yeah,
from that,
Prabhuji.
what else you want to hear?
Yeah, so I wanted to understand about the psychology of it. Like, if you forgive also, some portion of it remains.
Yeah, that means that is because our Bhakti Shakti and Daya is lacking. So you have to improve those components. Then our strength to forgive will increase.
Okay, got it, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Daya and Shama are connected with each other? No. Daya means to show compassion to others by preaching. And Shama means to forgive for the mistakes and wrongdoings. So should we forgive those who don't deserve to be forgiven? If anybody is sorry, we should forgive them. The main reason why Ram dethroned Vali, because Sugriv asked for forgiveness and Vali wanted to kill him and wipe him out. So if a person lacks forgiveness, cannot be a king. That was the basis why he killed Vali. Prabhuji, is it not a test check for a person who's yeah, it's a check. Correct. It's a test. You're right. A person is able to forgive to that degree, one is able to forgive to that degree, one has become a divine person, sadhu. It's not easy. Why demons are standing in front of temple? Really? Which demons are you referring to? I think you are referring to Jay and Vijay. They are not demons. They are gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. Dwarapalakas. You're right. They are not demons. They are devotees. Pure devotees. Who are selflessly standing there to protect the Lord. Or to prevent the Lord from being disturbed by unscrupulous people who don't deserve to come there. They are not demons. They are Jay and Vijay. Okay. I guess we'll close here. Thank you all very much. And I wanted to say something to all of you.